welcome to Daystar's Kidz Church Online. Woohoo! Hey!
Good to see you here today. I'm Pastor Sharla. That was a good training session. You might wonder why I'm wearing these cool workout headbands and squeezing in a workout here at Kidz Church. It's because this month we're training for a 5K together. Have you heard of a 5K before? It's a type of race that's 5 kilometers long, which is a little over 3 miles. Don't worry, I don't really know how long that is, so I had to research it. If running's not your thing, we're not actually gonna have to run that far, but we are gonna have some fun as we train for a 5K, because there's no better way to live out commitment. Commitment is making a plan and putting it into practice. Sure, you could go out and run a 5K without any training at all, and you might barely make it across the finish line. Maybe even if you walk, you might barely make it across the finish line. Do you know how far a 5K is? Well, if you were to run from our church here in Leduc all the way to Safeway, like way over there, that would be just a bit more than 5K. Think you could run that far? I know I sure couldn't. But if you make a running plan and you put it into practice, you'll be able to run a lot more than you can now, and with a lot more excitement and energy. And you might even enjoy it. Whenever there's a goal we want to accomplish, having a plan is important. It's so good to know that God has a plan for our lives. We can trust Him no matter what. Our memory verse for this month comes from a letter Paul wrote to his friend Timothy, who was training to be a church leader like Paul. It's 1 Timothy 4:8. Say it with me. Training the body has some value, but being godly has value in every way. It promises help for the life you are now living and the life to come. 1 Timothy 4:8. Let's say that again. Training the body has some value, but being godly has value in every way. It promises help for the life you are now living and the life to come. 1 Timothy 4:8. Jesus taught us that what matters most in life is love God and love others. It's simple, but it's not necessarily easy. It takes practice. Our bottom line for today is keep practicing what matters most. So every day, keep on practicing loving God and loving others. Can I pray for you guys? Let's pray. Dear God, I pray for these kids that you would give them strength and determination to do what matters most, which is love you and love others. Help us as we run this life race that you've given us and to stay committed. In your name we pray, amen. Did you know that the Apostle Paul actually talked about running in the Bible? He did, right in 1 Corinthians. Check out our Bible story video to find out. Have a great week, everyone, and stay true to your commitments.
On God! I can take you all at one time!
Wilson,
What? I gotta practice.
you have one fencing lesson.
Exactly why I can't stop now!
Even for a story?
Oh. Right! Ugh. Hey there, I'm Lawson, foremost fencing expert to be and bringer of fantastic stories. Like the one I've got today from my aunt's new neighbor, Aria. Aria and her family just moved to a new town, and nothing feels normal yet. Aria's like, I miss our old house. And Isaiah says, I miss my tree house. And at the very same time, they say, I'm bored. And Dad reminds them, you know, kids, only. Now, Aria and Isaiah know exactly how this one goes. Only boring people are bored. Because they've heard it so many times, they could say it in their sleep. Only boring people are bored. So, Arya looks around for ideas, and she spots the giant stack of moving boxes. And she announces, Isaiah, I'm going to make you a castle. And Isaiah shouts, Huzzah! Now, Arya plans to get started on the castle after lunch. But there's so many boxes, she's not sure where to start. And by that evening, the stack seems bigger. And by the next morning, it's the Mount Everest of boxes. By then, Isaiah demands, where's my castle? Because he's got a dragon to fight. So, Arya finds her dad, and she says, where do I start? And Dad's like, well, make a plan. So, Arya thinks hard and writes down the steps. Number 1, create a blueprint. Number 2, collect supplies. She needs scissors, glue, colored tape, marker, goblet, giant turkey leg, elf ears, and of course, cardboard boxes. And now it's on to number 3, construct. And at last, the castle is finished. And they all shout, huzzah! So kids, remember, there's more than one way to recycle your cardboard. And also, that commitment is making a plan and putting it into practice. On God! Where's a dragon when you need one? I should find it. See you guys next time!
Your plans for me are good. You hold my future. You're working all the time. You're the mountain mover. From sunrise to sunset, till the sun comes back up again. You're by my side. You started a good work in me. I know that you will complete it. You will see it through, yeah. I know that you're still working on me. And everything that you say you'll do, 'cause I believe that you are faithful, oh, you are faithful, oh, you are faithful. I'll trust your every word, 'cause I believe that you're working for my good. Yes, you're committed. From sunrise to sunset, till the sun comes back up again. You're by my side. You started a good work in me. I know that you will complete it. You will see it through, yeah. I know that you're still working on me. And everything that you say you'll do, 'cause I believe that you are faithful, oh, you are faithful, oh, you are faithful. You are my hope, you are my future. You are the mountain mover. You are faithful. You are my hope, you are my future. You are the mountain mover. You are faithful. You started a good work in me. I know that you will complete it. You will see it through, yeah. I know that you're still working on me. And everything that you say you'll do, 'cause I believe that you are faithful, oh, you are faithful, you are faithful, oh, you are faithful, oh, you are faithful, oh, you are faithful. took a breath. You had a plan for my every step. You promised to always be by my side. I believe that you are the way, you are the truth, you are the light. So I sing this to you. You keep your promises every day. I will believe in everything that you say. Yeah, in the dark I know you're making a way. Jesus, I will trust you. You're always good at everything that you do. And I know everything that you say is true. And every moment you are leading me through. Jesus, I will trust you. I wanna be honest and true and do what's right the way you do. You're teaching me to take a stand and live for you, 'cause I believe that you are the way, you are the truth, you are the light. So I sing this to you. You keep your promises every day. I will believe in everything that you say. Yeah, in the dark I know you're making a way. Jesus, I will trust you. You're always good at everything that you do. And I know everything that you say is true. And every moment you are leading me through. Jesus, I will trust you. Even in the moments I feel alone, I know I can. Trust that you're working and holding my world in your hands. Even in the moments I feel alone, I know I can. Trust that you're working and holding my world in your hands. You are the way, you are the truth, you are the life. So I sing this to you. You keep your promises every day. I will believe in everything that you say. Yeah, in the dark I know you're making a way. Jesus, I will trust you. You're always good at everything that you do. And I know everything that you say is true. And every moment you are leading me through. Jesus, I will trust you.
Hey everybody! I'm Erica, and I'm training for a 5K race. As you can see, I've been training all day, so as my grandma would say, I'm a little glowy. If you've ever run a 5K, you know it takes a lot more than popping off a couch and putting your running shoes on, okay? It takes commitment. Commitment is making a plan and putting it into practice. And my plan is not just running around a lot. I mean, I've got to train and what I'm calling the 3 S's. Speed, strength, smarts. So there's running, yes, but I'm also working on my strength. And running takes a lot out of you. I just can't take a second. Woo! I'm so tired. Your body's gonna want to give up. Ow. But I'm going to train my brain to keep running the race no matter what. Like right now, my body is telling me not to eat this kale because it looks gross. But my brain tells me that kale is good for giving my body energy. So, here goes. Come on, brain! Eat! I can't do it! I can't do it! Maybe I can find some easier ways to train my brain. In today's story, the Apostle Paul wrote about training for a different kind of race. No kale involved. What? No, 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 no!
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story inspired by the book of 1 Corinthians. chapter 9, verses 24 through 25.
Did you know that some writers of the Bible talk sports? Well, not every sport, but at least one that you are familiar with. Yep, running. Running has been around ever since God created people. In fact, the Apostle Paul uses running as an example in one of his letters to the church in Corinth.
In a race, all the runners run, but only one gets the prize. You know that, don't you? So run in a way that will get you the prize.
Now, Paul is talking about more here than just running, but first you have to understand what it takes to run a long race. Let's say you want to run a marathon. That's 26.2 miles. There's no way you can just hop up off the sofa where you've been playing video games for months and run that far. So, you need a plan. When I was preparing for my first marathon, I found this plan. I started training more than 4 months ahead of the race, and I started with just a few miles at a time. Once you've got a plan, well, then you gotta move. That means short runs, long runs, and cross-training to work other muscles and prevent injury. Next up, you've got to fuel. Plenty of water, of course. Plus, you need healthy carbs for your long runs like bananas. And maybe some spaghetti and meatballs. What's the last part of your training? Get ready for it. Rest. If you don't rest and let your body recover, you'll get burnt out or injured. The last few days before a marathon, you don't even run at all. Yeah, running a long race is no joke. But Paul says what we're doing right now, you and me, is even more important.
All who take part in the games train hard. They do it to get a crown that will not last. But we do it to get a crown that will last forever. So I do not run like someone who doesn't run toward the finish line. I do not fight like a boxer who hits nothing but air.
Paul packs a lot of weight into just a few sentences. Whether you planned it or not, we are all running a race right now. Okay, so that's a little crazy. Clearly, I'm standing here talking to you, and you aren't outside running laps either. But Paul is talking about a way of life, a journey. We're all focused on the finish line, life forever with Jesus, but in the meantime, every step along the way is important as we live out what matters most. Jesus reminded his followers,
"Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Love him with all your mind. Love your neighbor as you love yourself."
Yep, love God, love others. That's what matters on this journey together. But just like you can't skip from jogging 1 lap around the school gym to running a 26.2 mile race, you're gonna need some practice. Your Love God, Love Others marathon needs a training plan. Now, none of us have it all figured out, but here are 4 important things to start with. In fact, you may already be doing some of them. First point, hear. God is the master teller of this amazing story. He's the author of this whole race, so the most important thing is learning to hear from God. That means digging into God's Word and hearing the stories and wisdom from people who walked with Him. And you can also hear from God from people around you in your life who know and follow Him. Now, here's the second step in training for our Love God, Love Others marathon. Pray. Okay, when you hear pray, you might think,
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Truth is, you don't need fancy words to pray. You can talk to God anytime, anywhere, about anything, just like talking to your mom or your best friend. Now let's take a look at point 3 in our training plan. Talk. Hello out there! Tell other people what God has been up to in your life, what's changing, how you're learning to love others better. And here's the final point in your Love God, Love Others training plan. Live. Live for God. Let His love fill up every part of your life, at home, at school, at church. Even when your dad makes you stop reading your book to play a game with your little sister. Hear, pray, talk, live. That's how you practice loving God and loving others. As Paul wrote, "So run in a way that will get you the prize. We do it to get a crown that will last forever." And when you do, you will live out Paul's wisdom to the Corinthians and win the race.
When the Apostle Paul wrote about running a race, it was about way more than a 5K. It was about life, because sometimes life can feel like a race. That's why we've got to train. We need to make a commitment to practice what matters most. Jesus taught that what matters most is to love God and love others. How do you do that? Well, you can start with these 4 words. Hear, pray, talk, and live. Hear. Hear from God. Pray. Pray to God. Talk. Talk about God. Live. Live for God. In the race of life, you can't always rely on your own strength. You'll need God's help and wisdom to keep running. It's not always going to be easy. You may even want to give up. But it's better to keep going, because loving God and loving others is the most important thing you will ever do. Here's the one thing to remember today. Keep practicing what matters most, loving God and loving others. This may come natural to you, or it may seem totally new. Whatever the case, just commit to training a little bit every day. It'll be good for you. I guess if I commit to training, I need to do what's good for me and try a little bit of kale. Hey, that's not bad. I feel more energetic already. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm ready, and I'm a fan of kale. Bye!
What are you doing, John?
Trying to finish 5K.
You know that's not how 5Ks work, right?
What?
There's a lot of fiber in this.
Oh no!
Yeah, now that's how a 5K is supposed to work. Way to go.
I'm John.
I'm Brandon.
Welcome to the So-and-So Show. Brandon and I have committed to run a 5K.
Why? I'm not sure. Someone thought it was a good idea.
Well, when you commit to running a race, you need to make a plan on how to get yourself ready and stick to that plan.
I wanted to do one of those training apps that you can get on your phone. There's one called Couch to 5K that looks really good, but then John said...
I said we couldn't do that. No app is going to prepare us for the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys, or the ebbs and flows of running a race.
Have you ever actually run a race?
No. But that's beside the point. Racing is like life. You never know what life is gonna throw at you. It's unpredictable. So I developed a training course myself that will take us through unpredictable situations in multiple climates, so we'll be prepared for anything the real race might throw at us.
Okay, but you know that we're running the 5K in the spring on a city street.
Okay, let's talk. More practice. Come on, buddy. Let's go to the course. High knees. High knees.
Sigh. Okay, why are we doing this? There's no way we're going to be running in the snow, right?
Because you have to be prepared, Brandon. When you commit to something, you have to be ready for any outcome. And we have had some late spring snowstorms.
When?
You know, in the spring of 1978.
It is not going to snow, John.
You can't predict the weather, Brandon. And switch.
Oh, now we're in the desert? This will never happen.
What? We can make a wrong turn in a race and end up in the desert? Oh, flying cactus! Ah! Oh, and switch! Oh!
Seriously, John! This is getting out of hand!
Practice! Wow! Makes! Whoa! Perfect! Whoa! And switch!
Oh, okay. All right, this is more like it. This is what we should be training for.
Wait for it.
I want my $2!
Ow! What was that?
It's a paper boy. He's ruthless. Oh, heads up!
What? Ow! Can we stop now, please? I think we're prepared.
$2!
I don't think you're that prepared. Oh!
It's Bible story time with Kellen. Look out!
Whoa!
Hey guys, what's going on?
Oh, we're training for a 5K.
Yeah, we're practicing commitment. Duck.
Well, that's what I'm talking about today. I mean, not running and dodging newspapers, but the commitment part.
Oh, great. Take it away, Kellen.
This comes from the book of 1 Corinthians. Now, 1 Corinthians was a letter the Apostle Paul wrote to the Jesus followers in the city of Corinth. Paul wrote the letter to encourage people to stay committed to living the way Jesus would want them to live. This letter is like a speech a coach might give a team to really get them pumped up. It starts like this. In a race, all the runners run, but only one gets the prize. You know that, don't you? So run in a way that will get you the prize. Pretty inspiring stuff, but I think we could do it even better. Help me out, cheer squad.
Hey, Jackie.
Yeah, Dee Dee?
Are you ready to commit?
I was born ready.
Who is ready to run this race?
I am.
Who is ready to run this race?
That's me. When you are running, here's what we advise. You should run in a way that will get you the prize. Woo! Woo!
Awesome. But just to be clear, I don't think Paul was telling us to go out and literally start running.
Really? Really?
Really. I think Paul was comparing our lives to a race. When you're in a race, you do the best you can, right? It takes commitment and practice. But when you're running with a goal in mind, the finish line, it's the same with your life. You should try to do the best in life. It'll take commitment and it'll take practice. But the goal should be to live your life like there's a prize at the end. Now, Paul gave us a hint in what that prize could be. He wrote, all who take part in the games train hard. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Now, the people reading this letter in Paul's day would have known the kind of crown you could win in a race. It would be made of leaves or pine needles, and it wouldn't last very long. But Paul wrote that Jesus followers should be running for a crown that will last forever. Take it, cheer squad.
Yo, Jackie! Yeah, Dee Dee? Do you want to win? Always! So run with Christ and you can't go wrong. Woo!
That's great, Cheer Squad. Now that we know the kind of race we're training for, the question is, how do we train? How do you practice life? Well, you can start with these 4 words: hear, pray, talk, and live. Hear means we should practice hearing from God by reading the Bible or listening for His wisdom. Pray means we should practice talking to God, telling Him how great He is, and asking Him for help and forgiveness. Talk is practicing talking about God with others. It's asking questions when we don't understand something and sharing the good news with people who haven't heard about Jesus. And live means we practice living for God. We try and think about God before every choice we make and do things in a way that honor Him. That's how you train for the race of life. Let's hear one more from the cheer squad.
Ooh, hey, Jackie. Yeah, Dee Dee. I'm ready to lace up my kicks and run this race. I hear you. Let's slay this thing. On your mark, get set, go. R-U-N-T-H-A-T race. Are you gonna run like you want first place? R-U-N-T-H-A-T race. Then practice like you mean it and you'll be an ace. R-U-N-T-H-A-T race. Remember 4 words that will help your case. R-U-N-T-H-A-T race. Hear, pray, talk, live. Now start today.
Thanks, cheer squad.
Woo! Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to run the 5K now.
I think I'm ready for anything now.
$2!
Oh, see?
It's true. When we train, when we practice, it prepares us for things, well, we might not see coming. You just got to remember those 4 words: hear, pray, talk, and live.
That's great, Kellen. Hey, thanks.
You bet. See you next time.
Bye.
You know, it just occurred to me, we should get one of those running apps you can get on your phone. It'd be way simpler. You ever hear of Catch the 5K?
Reveal the question. How does practice help you? John?
I practice soccer all the time. And now I can do this.
Ooh. Nice.
Thank you. What about you?
When I practice playing an instrument, it helps me learn it so well that I can do it without even thinking about it, like this.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't love the beautiful tones of the mouth harp?
Right?
Yeah. What about you? How does practice help you?
In sports or at school or in life.
Talk about it together, and we'll see you next week for a brand new show!
Yay! Name that tune.
Okay. It's the theme to Name That Tune.
Yeah, you got it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, the paper boy's back! Oh! Okay, no,
Stop it!
Switch!
Give him his $2.
I don't have any pockets! Oh, now we're getting attacked.
They threw an ostrich.
What? How dare you? They're flightless. Okay.
No.
Switch.
Oh, good, a living room.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what's on. Oh, marathon.
Oh, great.
You ever been to a marathon?
Can they do CG couches?